So when I said part 3 of this video series would be the fans striking back, the video in which people would send me videos of their Star Wars toy interactions from all over the country, I meant it. Until today, when I was out shopping at my local Kroger, and I just happened to stumble upon this, because I'm about to show you a bunch of brand new Star Wars The Last Jedi action figures clearanced for $1. We're going to see the Deluxe figures clearanced for $1.70 and the large size figures for $1.10. So let's get into the actual footage. So I went over to the scanner checkout just to make sure that these things were going to actually show up. First we have General Hux, no one's favorite character. And General Hux scanned in at $1. Yes, $1 whole. Only with your Kroger Plus card, however. Then we have Rose, the true hero of the rebellion, and she scanned for $1. Whew. Talk about a bargain. Her useless sister Paige, well, she's $1 too, so nothing new there. Now, let's scan something else, this large-sized Rey action figure, because Rey is in high demand. She scans for a whopping $1.10. I can't believe people didn't pay full price for this. So we have these titanium helmets, and they didn't scan on the scanner, but they were already clearanced at a whopping 25 cents. So if you paid full price for those, you're an asshole. Plus, they're a stupid product. Now, let's look at the timeless favorite, the lightsaber. Now, these are the Deluxe for kids lightsabers. They're $24.99 originally. What do they scan for? Let's find out together. I know the anticipation's killing me. $2.50. These are the electronic lightsabers. They're not the little crappy ones. So $2.50 for Rey's. Now let's scan Darth Vader's, because a classic never dies with Darth Vader, so clearly he has to be worth more. Nope, he's worth $2.50 as well, so there you go. What else is in this magical cart of bullshit? The Rey and Praetorian Guard 2-pack, because every little kid wants to live out the greatest lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars history, and it's $1.70. Still too much. So I went over to the Star Wars section to see if people were buying it up, and I gotta be honest, $1 is the right price for modern Star Wars fans. For $1, people are clearing the shelves out. Now, I know back in the day, full price, people would have been clearing the shelves out. But with modern Star Wars, the price is right when it's $1. So I had to make this video because I found this situation incredible. I mean, Force Friday was back in September of 2017. September 1st, 2017 to be exact. Now, all the guys on the Rebel Scum forums and the Jedi Temple Archive forums and the Yak Face forums and all these other Star Wars lovers websites were, wet with anticipation for the new Star Wars toys. And they all ran out and they all bought them at full price, and they talked about how great and interesting these new characters are going to be. But a few months later, I'm sure they feel like dicks when their toys are a whole $1. Anyone that was trying to speculate collect with these Last Jedi action figures, you're lost. You've lost your money. You have no foot to stand on. These toys are valued at $1. And it's funny to me because that's how I feel these new characters are. They're dollar bargain discount characters. They're nothing special. They're just a joke. And these prices are kind of a joke too. I mean, what are we at? 4 months in and they're already $1? And people still weren't buying Rose. She had the most figures there, I believe. Rose or General Hux. And you can't blame people for not wanting those two characters. General Hux is not an intimidating villain. Darth Vader was, Grand Moff Tarkin was, General Veers was a pretty badass guy. Hell, even Admiral Ozzel, who got choked out like a bitch, was more intimidating than General Hux. And I've gone on at great lengths about Rose. She sucks. She's a stupid character. She talks about, let's not fight against what we hate, but save what we love. Well, Rose, nobody loves you. That's why you're the only toy on the shelf, and you're still $1 and people aren't buying you. So I wonder what Disney or Hasbro would say in this situation. they'd probably say, well, we made our money when we sold it to the stores, so we don't care. But you should care, because long-term ramifications are that if people can get this for $1, they're just going to wait. So when stores see that people wait for the prices to go down, they'll order less. And when they order less, Hasbro will finally get the message. So, a message to these online collectors, to the guys that gotta buy everything up, 2 or 3 of each, one to open and display, one to keep in the box mint, and one to maybe display in the box, or one for your kids, or all that stuff. So, this whole rule of 3 that these collectors do is kind of stupid. You got guys out there that buy like 10 of the same figures so they can like take off the jacket or take off the holster or the gun or something dumb like that. And I know it's good for business, but it's a weird practice. And to say directly to them, why? Why do you do this when you could just wait and get this shit on the cheap? There's not a single piece of Star Wars merchandise that came out that I haven't been able to find easily in the greater Cincinnati or northern Kentucky area. And I've seen everything on sale. Hell, the other day I went out to pick up something, and I just randomly ran into my local Toys R Us, and they still had the first wave of Rey figures, even the one before the lightsaber was packed in her box. So, that's a 2-year-old figure, and plenty of Constable Zuvios were there to find. So, in closing, I just want to say, look what happened. You wait 4 months, the shit's $1. Whatever episode 9 will be titled, I'm sure those toys will be $1 as well. And if you notice that the toy line has shrunk significantly from Force Awakens to Rogue One to The Last Jedi. In The Last Jedi line, you get your Finn, your Rey, your Poe Dameron, and stuff like that. And Wave 2 is just starting to hit with Princess Leia and Jyn Erso again for some reason. I don't know. It's not like you can't find that figure for pennies on the dollar elsewhere. Which is funny. They didn't have a single Rogue One figure at this Kroger. But then again, this Kroger's new, so it was built after Rogue One came out. And why would you order old toys for that? So there's your answer for why there were no Rogue One toys on the shelves. But tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you find this situation funny? Do you find this situation sad? Do you find this situation confusing? Were you one of the people that rushed out on Force Friday at midnight with your kids dressed up as Luke Skywalker in X-Wing gear and paid full price for a bunch of toys and sat and speculated on the internet for hours on end? Oh, this character's going to change the saga. Oh, this character's going to be so great. Blah, 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 blah. And then you realize that your investment was worthless. Now, if it's an emotional investment, I'd argue it's still worthless too, because you got so hyped and excited for absolutely nothing. Now, you don't always need to take the wait-and-see approach. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being excited for things. I get excited for things. I get excited for movies and events and stuff in my life. I'm not some boring, misanthropic guy that just has no personality and doesn't enjoy life. But I don't enjoy being duped constantly. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I won't let Disney Star Wars fool me ever again. They got me with The Force Awakens, and ever since then, I've known what to expect. And being a pretty savvy guy when it comes to collecting merchandise, I know what's going to be hard to find and what you should pay full price for and stuff like that. And Star Wars has proven over the last 2 calendar years that it is no longer worth full price. Nothing that they release is worth full price. The scaled down ships are not worth full price. The shitty under-detailed action figures aren't worth full price. The 6-inch things aren't really worth full price. You get your occasional Stormtrooper, or you get your occasional Chewbacca or something that's worth full price and it's cool. But on the whole, for every one of those, you get 24 Constable Zuvio, 7 Finns, the same Kylo Ren figure you've seen for 2 years, stuff like that. And I've gone on about how it could be that people don't like the characters, and yes, toys are sold differently, but there are certain things that still sell. Like, there's a Marvel Legends Wolverine. That figure came out twice in like 18 months. That's how popular it was. It came out in 2 separate boxes, 2 separate releases. And every time I go to the store, every other figure from the wave is there. Spider-Man, Punisher, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow. No Wolverine. Wolverine is in that high a demand. That is a toy that people want. Even Old Man Luke Skywalker I found at all these stores. The figure that you think would be everyone's must-have. But then when you see the movie and you realize what a douche he is, you don't want it. You want cool characters, male or female, I bought Princess Leia toys as a kid because she was cool and had agency. And she kicked a little bit of ass here. And actually, she kicked a lot of ass. She killed Jabba the Hutt. She did all kinds of cool stuff like that. So, Disney, one more message to you about this. Create characters that everyone loves, that people will respect and look up to and find cool, and don't worry about political agendas, and people will buy the merchandise. Why do you want to buy a character that sacrificed herself in the beginning of a movie, had no lines of dialogue, and just fills a quota for female action figures on the shelf? Paige doesn't bring anything to the table. Nothing. I don't care what your opinion of her sacrifice was. For, toy space, she should be bottom of the list. And real quick, somebody that watches these videos said, well, what about Greedo? Greedo's only had a minute of screen time. Greedo was an expository character. Greedo was important because it showed what kind of character Han Solo was. He told the audience what Han Solo's situation was, why he needed the money, why he was, the way he was. So that's why Greedo's important. Plus, when the Greedo figure came out in 1978, Kenner was rushing to just put out alien figures, and they only had so many options in the original Star Wars movies. So, So, that's really why Greedo has a toy. And then Greedo's just part of it. The Rodarian character, or Rodian, or whatever he is, that design's in Star Wars and Jedi, and people buy it. But people don't buy Rose and Paige and all these other dumb characters. Tell me what you thought of this video. If you could give it a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. Share it. If you're a member of this channel and you haven't already, check out our Patreon for just 17 cents a day, which equals $5 a month. You get all kinds of cool access. We have commentaries that you can be on. You don't just give money to world-class bullshitters through Patreon. You get a digital poster, or a higher level, you get a signed autograph poster, which those are coming out soon. Higher level, you get t-shirts. You get to be on commentaries. You can suggest all kinds of things. And Patreon is a really cool hangout for the most dedicated fans, where you guys can talk back and forth through the comments of the posts and suggest stuff, and we can make all kinds of great stuff happen. So, if you'd like to see more of World Class Bullshitters, if you'd like to see better content from World Class Bullshitters, make sure you do that. And we will be back later in the week with more content. So, thank you for watching, and enjoy your Monday.